Hello, everybody, and welcome to another reaction pod here on the Italian Football Podcast. This time it's the World Cup playoff draw preview, and I'm recording this just as the final group stage games of the European World Cup playoffs, the UEFA World Cup playoffs, just concluded. So what I'm going to do is this is not going to be a very long pod. I'm going to divide it like this. I'm going to go through the all the facts, like the date, teams, pot, seeds, venues, and format, and then I'm going to go through which teams Italy can be drawn with in the semi-final, and then potential teams that Italy can draw in the final. We just watched Scotland perform one of the most insane games, beating Denmark, where Højlund and McTominay scored. Of course, McTominay scored with a scissor kick, overhead scissor kick or bicycle kick, because that's what he does nowadays, these days, isn't it? That's just Scott McTominay. Bloody hell! I mean, just imagine a move to Naples would turn Scott McTominay into this aside from looking like this model, this ginger model who's too cool for school with the shades and the fashion. Now he's scoring scissor kicks and half volleys just for fun. What a move to Naples can do for a fella, eh? After leaving Manchester and the wet shores of Manchester. But yeah, we saw Kieran Tierney score a magical goal, and of course Kenny McLean score from the halfway line. That game was absolutely insane. Rasmus Højlund, of course, equalized for Denmark from a very dubious penalty, but that's the Serie A connection there. But let's start then with the reason I bring that up is that's the most entertaining game of the night, and it was also the one with the most Serie A connection. But let's start now with how the European playoff will be decided. So basically, pot one is composed of the top seeded teams from the European qualifiers that finished that finished second, essentially, and that is based on the FIFA ranking. So that will be Italy, who are the highest according to the FIFA rankings, have the highest seed. And I'm looking on FIFA now. This hasn't been updated, so what I'm reading now is before this round of games. So Italy is in ninth. They're the highest ranked seeds that are that finished second. Second are Denmark, who are are 20th spot. So Italy can't play them. And then it's Turkey and Ukraine, who are 26th and 27th, respectively. So these teams will all be in pot one. The teams that will be in pot four, which one of the teams from pot one will be drawn against in the semi-final, are North Macedonia, Romania, Sweden, and if I'm not mistaken, let me just double check my notes. 1 second, let me just double check my notes here. Sorry about this. Let me see, where did we put that? Yeah, so there we go. North Macedonia, Northern Ireland, Romania, and Sweden. So any of these four teams can play any of the teams in pot one, and those are in the semi-final, and those are Italy, Denmark, Turkey, and Ukraine, right? Then the remaining teams are teams that are in pot two and pot three. And these are the teams that will play each other in the semi-final. And one of the winners of these semi-finals will play one of the winners of the other semi-final, right? So, right. Pot one, Italy, Denmark, Turkey, Ukraine will play one of Northern Ireland, North Macedonia, Romania, and Sweden. Pot two, Poland, Wales, Czechia, and Slovakia will play one of Ireland, Albania, Kosovo, and Bosnia. Okay, so the winner of the teams from pot the semi-final works like this: that the team with the highest seeding, meaning the teams from pot one, and pot 2 in the semi-final stage, they will be at home, meaning Italy will be at home, Denmark will be at home, Turkey will be at home, and Ukraine will be at home when they play Sweden, Romania, North Macedonia, Northern Ireland. And the team from pot 2, Poland, Wales, Czechia, and Slovakia, will be at home when they play either Ireland, Kosovo, Albania, and Bosnia. Okay, that's the semi-finals. And then in the final, that will be a draw as to who will be in who will be the home team. That is not yet to be decided. That will be decided during the draw on Thursday at 1 p.m. CET, noon UK, and Carlo will immediately be doing a reaction pod to the draw, right? So don't worry about that just yet, because Carlo will do a reaction pod as to who Italy will play in the semi-final, and of course we'll also know who Italy will play possibly in the final, the winner of which semi-final tie Italy will play, right? Now, as for let me just bring up my note. I've got a million tabs here. As for when these games will be played, the semi-final will be played on the 26th of March, and the final will be played on 31st of March 2026. Okay, and the semi-final and potential final hosts have to confirm their venues no later than 19th of December 2025. So as part and basically, so what that means is that on the 26th of March, all four semifinals will be played, and on the 31st of March, all finals will be played. Okay, the draw for these will be all drawn on this Thursday at noon UK, 1 p.m. CET. Okay, so that's pretty much where we are with this. It's not too complicated. Okay, so just to reiterate, Italy can play either Sweden, Romania, North Macedonia, or Northern Ireland at home in the semi-final on the 26th of March, and in the final, whether they will, if they beat one of those teams and reach the final in a potential final, whether or not Italy will be at home, that will be drawn as well on Thursday at noon UK time or 1 p.m. CET, and who they will play will be one of these teams from pot 2, Poland, Wales, Czechia, and Slovakia, or from pot 3, Ireland, Albania, Bosnia, and Kosovo. Okay, so Italy can't play Denmark, can't play Turkey, and can't play Ukraine. So those are the. As for the kickoff times, I've not seen anything confirmed as of yet. Just that the dates have been confirmed. So the times we'll have to wait and see when those are. Okay, so those are that's where we are now. In terms of the fact, in terms of which pot Italy is in, who they can play in the semi-final, which teams are in pot 4, who are the seeds. Those are pot 1 and pot 2 teams. And the date, 26th of March and 31st of March for the semi-final and the final, respectively. And the format is important. These are one-off games. So there's no home and away. The semi-final is a one-off game. Italy will play that at home. And if they reach a final, that will also be a one-off game. Whether or not they play at home or away, we don't know yet. Okay? So those are the facts. Now, just to tie back whether this is good or bad for Italy, personally, I think Sweden out of pot 4, that's the team you want to avoid. And I have to say that given that I was actually rooting for Scotland, because I think Scotland would pose a bigger threat to Italy, given the sheer number of Serie A connections they have, from Josh Doig, Che Adams, Lewis Ferguson, Aaron Hickey, who's played there in the past, as well as, of course, Scott McTominay. These, and then also Scotland is such a feisty, moody teams, so you don't want to play any of these teams. Now, obviously, Denmark on paper might be argued are qualitatively better. Billy Gilmore, of course, as well. How could I forget him? But if you look on paper, the teams to avoid, in my opinion, now that Scotland. So I'm happy that Italy can't play Scotland, because as I said, I think they would have caused Italy all sorts. So now, out of the teams that Italy can play, that are the most difficult teams on paper, is obviously Sweden in the semi-final, and then I think it's safe to say it's Poland. Poland are on paper a very, very difficult side. Czechia, Slovakia, okay, Albania, Kosovo. These are, you don't want to go there. Bosnia as well. These home teams. Ireland, of course, as well. If they, if you play them away, that could be a nightmare. And given where Italy are mentally, they're very fragile. But if we just talk about quality on paper, I think Poland and Sweden are the teams to avoid. But we'll know on Thursday at 1 p.m. when Carlo will do a reaction pod for this. For the draw, for the actual draw, as soon as it's done, and he'll go through whether it's a nightmare draw and what he thinks about this. But I can say that I think Italy got away with one. Scotland, for me, Scotland and Sweden are the teams to avoid for the reasons I've outlined. Now that we know which teams are in pot 2 and pot 3, and in pot 4, Sweden and Poland, qualitatively on paper, are the teams to avoid. Wales, Ireland, Kosovo, Bosnia, Albania, these teams are very strong home teams. So we have to hope that Italy get the home advantage, which will be drawn on Thursday as well. Hope that made sense. We will be back tomorrow, Wednesday, for the Q&A. And then on Thursday, Carlo will do a post draw reaction. And of course, from next week, it's back to usual programming, because the Serie A returns this week with a Milan derby, lots of other exciting games. So next week, it's back to regular programming. This week, we were focused fully on the playoffs and Italy's failures against Norway and Italy's fate moving forward. So this is where we are. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Ciao, ciao.